here. I'm going to show you my trick. I want my grain line to be perfectly perpendicular to the floor. So I'm going to show you my trick, because if I go in here, and by the way, my grain line will be in the middle of the pattern piece. Whichever middle you guys want to have, you decide, right? But it needs to be in the middle. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to place that grain line right here. And now I need to make sure that this line is perpendicular to the floor. And we're not gonna guess. So I'm gonna show you my trick. I get my measuring tape and I tie my scissors, which are heavy, right? And I pin them exactly where that pin is. Because anybody knows what this physics is called?
Gravity.
Gravity. Oh, we're defying Ariana Grande. Okay, so that way I can move it and have it perfectly perpendicular to the floor. See how wonderful?
Yeah.
I'm giving you all my secrets. All right. Now that I did that, I can take this off. Now, the pinning on this is going to be different to what we pinned before. I told you before that you need to pin from the outside in, but this piece, we're actually going to drape from this line to the right and from this line to the left. So what I'm going to do, let me put a pin here so it's not on our way. I'm going to pin them in an angle, but only I do this when I'm doing it in the middle of the piece. And I'm going to pin them both directions. That way when I pull it to the right, because a lot of times you start draping and you start pulling and then the lines start moving. You do not want this line to move. Everybody can see? Yep. Okay. Anybody pictures? Okay. So now, I don't know about you, but have you ever had something with peas and then you push the peas out and then you end up leaving them for the end, thinking that your mother is going to forgive you and you still have to eat them? I kind of do this the same way. I drape the easy part first and I leave the one that is hardest, okay? So this side is fairly flat. So I'm going to pull my fabric. See that I have a little bubble right here, right? I want to make sure that I do not have any of that. And I'm going to probably try to do this with just a single pin. See how it's flat? Sometimes, and by the way, we use muslin because muslin doesn't lie. If it doesn't like it, it's gonna tell you. It's gonna make a wrinkle on it and you need to fix that. It is not ironing. It is actually fixing the pattern. I'm gonna cut some off now that we have the gray line. So we already see here, I can still pull it more. See that?
Yeah.
And that is mostly because we have this armhole. See how it's pulling? So if I snip it, and I don't want to snip it all the way through the line, I want to snip about 1/2 inch. Right, it has sat puppy ears, so let me cut it off. Right? So I can actually brush it off and have it as flat as possible. Now I'm going to work the bust point, okay? So again, we agreed that the bust point is the most prominent part in here. So I'm going to start with the bust point first, up to that line like we did before. And I'm going to work my way up on that line. You see? Pretty? Okay, so now I work my way down. Where's the line? Right there. And I keep working my way down. You just have to brush it with your finger and the fabric is gonna lay in place. If it ever pulls or does anything, snip it. And try to not get too close because you might run out of fabric. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this. And I'm drawing inside the cup.
So you're drawing the line in bottom part?
I'm drawing, for the bust cup, I'm drawing inside the tape. When I'm going to drape the real one, I will draw it outside because the cup has to be inside. So look in here, I have a little bubble here, right? But if I actually pull it, remember when we sew, I keep saying, follow only the seam line? That you don't care what happens outside of that line. So if it does the ruffle outside, who cares? But look, if I pull, the seam line is really flat. And I'm gonna walk the hell out of this thing, maybe about 3 or 4 times. So I'm gonna do bust point. It might not match with the other one, so when I walk it, I'll be able to fix it. I'm gonna do 1.5 inch on top, 1.5 inch in the bottom, okay? And then I'm gonna take all of these pins off. And then I go back in here and I'm gonna clean my lines. Well, this one looks fairly straight. Okay, this one looks fairly straight right here. This one looks a little straight here, a little straight here. A little straight here. And the rest is all curves. And now I'm going to add the 1/2 inch seam allowance. And now I'm going to pin it and watch it on the dress form. And this is going to help me to walk it. I'm going to walk it again when we put it in paper. I need to get a 0.9 because it gets stuck on the muslin. Are you looking for a boyfriend?
No.
Oh. They're all taken?
Huh?
They're all taken?
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Sad.
All right, so here we go.